Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and on this episode we're going to be doing a luxury modification to the Prius behind me here. I was thinking of doing a steering wheel upgrade because the steering wheel on these Priuses, they feel like plastic, rubbery, and the luxury one, which is I believe Prius 5 or maybe Prius 4, they have a leather seat and leather steering wheel option. And so what I ended up doing is just kind of keeping an eye out on eBay, and I ended up finding a leather steering wheel for about 80 bucks. I picked it up and we're gonna go ahead and install it in the Prius. So here's the original steering wheel. I don't know if you guys can tell, it's kind of rubbery, really hard, rubbery, a little bit plasticky feel to it. And this is the leather one. Even in the picture you guys can tell that it's going to be a much more comfortable steering wheel compared to the stock one, and it's also softer as well. Now the first thing I'm going to do before you want to mess with any airbags is disconnect the battery. So I'm going to unplug the battery in the back. And to make sure there's no power, no battery, you press on the horn, turn on the lights, nothing turns on. So we got the battery disconnected. So now what I need to do is unplug the airbag. There's two caps on the steering wheel, one here and one on the other side. And I'm gonna go ahead and pry these off. And then there's gonna be a little pin that you gotta press, and that will pop the airbag. And to pop the airbag, there's this pin right here, this little clip that's holding the little pin that snaps in there. And to get it to unsnap, you basically press this little metal lever and it pops it out. Same thing on the other side. Once those two pins release by pressing them, it'll basically let you pull the airbag off like so, and then you just have to disconnect these two wires and then the blue, which is I believe a ground. And to do that, you basically use a little pick, something that's really small, pry this clip up and this one, and then it will pop off just like that. Pretty easy. And the blue ground one, you can just pull it off by hand. If it's too hard, if it's stuck, you can use a little metal pick and do the same thing, just kind of pry it off like so. You can maybe even use pliers, but there you go. And there's a little bump on the clip that kind of snaps into this hole, so it might be a little bit harder by hand, but you can do it either way. So we got the airbag off, so we're going to put that aside. All right, and then what you do is disconnect these plugs. Got one right here, one right there. So now we got a 19mm nut right here. Now before you remove the steering wheel, you want to make sure that the steering wheel is actually nice and centered, because when you're going to be putting on the new steering wheel, you want it to be just as centered. Get that bolt off. It should be pretty easy, but a nice little torque gun makes it pop off nice and easy. Now to get the steering wheel off, depending on how many miles your car has, in my case I have about 43,000 miles, so it shouldn't be that hard. You just kind of wiggle, hit it a little bit on top and the bottom, and it goes off. Now because I bought the steering wheel, it already came with the plastic trim right here. Sometimes people sell them without the trim, with the trim, whatever. I'm not going to be changing the plastic little covers here. It's pretty much basically all the same. The plugs are the same, everything is the same. The only difference is it has this little button you press to make a call, I guess. My steering wheel doesn't have that button, but it has that. It has the phone hang up and pick up phone, but it doesn't have the speaker button. So I'm wondering if that's gonna activate this and actually make it work. I mean, we'll find out, but in my case, I don't have this one. This steering wheel has it, but all the other buttons are the same here and here. So I'm not gonna worry about swapping the little trims over this piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the steering wheel with the plastic covers, even though he has a little bit of a scuffing right here because this car had a little bit more miles than my car has, but it's not a big deal. I'm not gonna worry about that. As I'm putting the steering wheel on, you want to make sure you put it on exactly straight how you removed the other one. And there we go. Now we can put the nut back on. And you can torque it down by hand, but I'm going to do a little. There we go. So now we're going to go ahead and plug these little plugs in. Like that, like so, and now we're gonna put the airbag back on. Let's see, we got our blue ground. I'm gonna plug it in right here, and then we got the orange and we got the black for the airbag. That would snap right in. You want to make sure that the little clips are out. That way they plug in it, and then you press the clips in, and that's what keeps them in place. All right, so now that's in. Basically, the way the airbag snaps back into the steering wheel is you got these little metal clips that go in here, and this snaps right in and goes into the groove, and that's what holds the airbag in place. And when you press from the outside, basically it presses out the lever and releases the airbag. So let's put those in, and that will snap right in. 1, 2. So we got 2 snaps, and that's good to go. It's not going anywhere. So now the only thing we have left to do is cover the holes on both sides, like that. And now we connect the battery back. All right, now let's see if the buttons work. Basically, the cool thing about the Prius, you just put your finger over it and it gives you a little screen notification showing you that your finger is on those little buttons right there. Same thing on this side. That's good, that's good, that's good. So everything's nice and everything's working. The horn is working. Phone, let's see, phone. Let's see, I pressed the phone button. Okay, so that turns on the screen, the phone screen. Voice button, let's see what happens. Okay, voice recognition not available. Okay, so I guess on this Prius, because my steering wheel didn't have this button, then it's not gonna work on this steering wheel, which is fine. I don't care. Obviously, I never use these features anyways, but I'll keep this little feature with the leather steering wheel. Just the leather feeling, it feels so much better when you're holding on. It doesn't feel plasticky, it doesn't feel rubbery. It feels a little bit softer too because there's more cushioning on the steering wheel. So it's a much better overall feeling, and it doesn't feel like you're driving a cheap little Prius. So that's why a lot of people, they pay more for the Prius. For the Prius 5, because it's more of a luxury model with the leather seats, leather steering wheel, all that stuff. I'm not sure what else it has, but now we have a Lexus Prius. Now all I gotta do is I change the badging to a Lexus, front badge on the hood to a Lexus, on the bumper, on the back, and we'll be set. I wanted to do this on my car first and then let my wife drive it, see if she likes it, and if she likes it, I'll do the same little mod on her Prius. Before, it kind of felt more like, I don't know, you're holding a shovel, you know, because some shovels, they have like a rubber handle on them. That's what it felt like before, like you're holding a shovel or a rake. That's kind of what it felt like before, and now it feels a lot better, smoother, softer, more comfortable, and it's going to be more enjoyable driving the Prius. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this upgrade for the Prius since this is my daily driver. I drive to work about 1,000 miles a month just to work and back. So I'm glad I got this little upgrade done, and it's going to be as comfortable as possible, and it's going to make it more enjoyable driving. I'm still looking for the silver bumper. Once I find the silver bumper, I'll install it, and she's going to be pretty much 100% done. And then I have a few plans for the Prius, some visual changes that I'll be making. So that's going to be coming up later on once I'm done with the bumper. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, this little mod. If you're new, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the Mustang projects.